Okay.
Hold up, we're all business.
Yeah, it didn't make much of a
What? How come mine?
Haha.
I didn't even throw mine.
Yeah,
Connor, do you have napkin?
What?
I just.
I'm gentle. I have hands.
Gently used.
Put that shit
Yes, gently used.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
Papa bless.
Are you recording?
I did start, yes.
Okay, cool.
See, he's really good at that.
Oh. How do I want to do this?
Oh.
Oh,
I don't think you have a choice to find out how.
We should like plan out our goal before we
I
start.
shouldn't have... I drank 2 of these today. This is my second one of these today, so now I have 2 fortunes, which might be a
Does
point.
that nullify the first one?
Realities.
They might compete.
Oh,
People you deal with will be more cooperative than usual.
that's not a. Oh, really?
It's kind of ominous, isn't
yeah.
It says the bottle. Bullshit. Be
it?
combative
Says
all
the
night
bottle.
long.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, I'm walking home
I'm
now.
shutting down everything you say.
Oh, right. So what I wanted to say was Sunday. Weekend fan club presents the Meltdown May Spectacular.
Ticket pays for the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Dab.
So this
What is the sound of one hand dabbing?
partway through the beautiful month of May, I was telling Quinn about this beautiful online phenomenon called Meltdown May.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I can't say for sure whether or not it's something about May in particular, or if May is even an exceptional case. But it's fun to, for the month of May, track all of the online meltdowns, and boy howdy, there were plenty of them.
Holy shit, was there
Yeah,
ever?
there was a lot.
A lot of people just losing their shit in a place that everyone can see it.
Exactly.
And honestly, it's really just a lot of the what Connor said at the top of the year, where 2019 is really just the year of. I mean, okay, like no one asked for this, but I guess we know this now.
Right. It's the popular meme has been the nobody, and then someone just says some shit.
Except
And
that's
it's been
just
so
been the
real
whole year.
in real life.
It's so great.
What's the first meltdown?
Well, where do we want to start? I'll give it to you guys. I've got a few different.
I'd say like
areas.
the first one that really hit for me was, I think,
Elf life.
yeah.
All right, so let's do that.
I don't remember that.
So
Okay.
This I guess I'll
we can
take.
tie it into wife guys later. We'll get into wife.
Okay,
guys.
I guess I'll take this one off because I actually followed all parties on Twitter, so I saw. Okay.
So can I do a little like a
Absolutely.
little sequence
Go
for each
ahead.
one?
Go ahead.
So our first meltdown of the month. Pro Jared.
Oh! Now I remember. Why
Yeah.
is it wife guys?
We'll get
into
to
wife
it.
guys later.
Okay.
So, at the top of the month, I was battling an illness because I guess I just had the flu.
Yeah,
And
so you decided to call it battling an illness.
I was.
That seems insensitive for no reason.
I'm sorry.
There's no way that this even has to do with the story.
Can I choo real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read a tweet yesterday that said, if you tell people, hey, I'm single, they're like, oh, it sucks. Have you tried Tinder or whatever this? But if you tell them, many have tried to date me and all have failed, you sound like a badass.
He's
Anyways,
He's not. No.
choo.
It's a good opening line now. What do you?
Oh,
I'm
Jacob.
getting a new chair.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I thought you were coming to hit me for what I
I
said.
thought you were just joining the table because you wanted to. Be
So,
part of
yeah.
the cool crew.
Anyway,
I'm at a fucking piano, man.
yeah, he's true. He's got a piano. Why would he want to sit with us?
I don't know.
I don't blame him.
We have other.
No,
We have talents.
Can we play a chord in G?
Yes.
I
Because
can't.
there's only one G chord.
Really?
Well, there's.
I didn't know that.
There's other G chords, but if you call it just G, there's just this.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
saying a
G
chord in
sus
G
is-
is.
Wait, what?
G sus, yeah.
Jesus!
Yeah, Jesus.
Cries,
out.
bail bonds.
Bail out.
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 Jesus Christ, bail bonds.
We are never getting to Meltdown.
I've lost the plot of this whole thing.
Anyway, okay, so
G said.
I started the month when I was sick, and I woke up one morning and I looked at my phone and
G over C.
Jesus Christ, bail bonds.
Bail out.
So I woke up. We have to cut all of this.
Okay, you woke
That
up.
was perfect.
You were sick,
I missed it.
but you weren't battling an illness, you hero.
Yes.
You had the flu.
Thank you. It sucked.
You were
anyway,
battling the common cold.
yeah, so I was sick and I woke up and I was, kind of having like a fever dream. So I wasn't even really like awake. And then I looked at my phone and all I seen was just a fucking avalanche of text from Heidi, Pro Jared's ex-wife. Now ex-wife.
Wait, you got text or do you mean tweets?
Tweets, sorry.
I was like, you're way
No.
more connected to
I've
this than I
seen,
really
I seen like a million tweets from Heidi, and she was saying like, "Well, I guess I'll come out and say it now. Pro Jared's been cheating on me with Holly Conrad," and I'm like, "What the fuck is happening here?" So I'm like scrolling
love
through
the-
all of these tweets.
I love the gutsy nature of just calling out.
I loved it.
Yeah,
Oh, like
the
looking back,
cheater and
looking
the
back,
cheatee.
absolutely loved it because she was 100% like. If anything, I believe I kind of take her side in all of this because even to this day, she has moved on, and she is just doing her own thing. Whereas the other party is still
Milking it.
milking it. Well, not milking it, but more like fishing for compliments, kind of.
I don't know if it's that clean.
It's not, but I mean that's the easiest way I could describe it without making this podcast only about this. So regardless, I seen all of the posts from Jared's ex-wife. And I was like, oh, this is fucked. And then I like kept scrolling, and then I saw a couple of posts from Holly, and then I was like, oh, Jesus, this is rough. Mainly because I'm still a big Game Grumps fan, and I really like Ross and his animations and just everything about him.
That was Ross. Okay, I got
It was his ex-wife.
The guy,
It's his ex-wife.
Jared
It's his
cheated
ex-wife.
with is Ross's ex-wife.
So this Holly chick is Ross's ex-wife.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Was that also a rough separation, or was it just?
No, that was like
that was much better?
no. We both want to live in different places, and it was very clean. They're still friends. I guess not, maybe not anymore, but
Hard to say.
hard to say.
It
he
was a
friends with,
very
like, Bro
polite
Jared?
separation.
Ross was when this whole thing happened. Ross was like, I don't want to get into it. I'm gonna tweet about the show I'm making.
Yeah, and that was really cool because he
That
was
is
like,
cool.
there's this Kickstarter campaign that I really like, and everyone I guess was waiting on him to make a response to all of this. So when he did, he was just like, I'm living my own life, but I know everyone's gonna look at this, so check this out instead. And I'm like, great way to do
well
it.
done, Ross.
So well done for him. Jared made one statement, and then he lost 400,000 subscribers in
That's
a
not as
day.
bad as James Charles.
And I know he couldn't even keep that record.
My
Honestly,
girlfriend legit made me like watch the last 20 minutes because she started the 20 minutes.
Was this in May?
Yeah, it was.
we're
yeah,
gonna have to get
that was
that.
May.
I didn't have it on the
No,
list.
we're not.
Mhm.
We're not doing that. That's
No.
not our culture. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not a
I
part
didn't
of
know
us. It's
anything
just-
about it.
Yeah, neither do I.
He's kind of gross. Tati is a 4-year-old woman calling out a like late teenager.
True.
I
And
found weird how
beauty culture.
multivitamins play into it a lot somehow.
Yeah, like supplements and capitalism and just like capitalism is just gonna do this.
Is this the beauty YouTube side of the Logan Paul fight?
No, I have no idea what that is. I don't.
so
really,
lost.
I don't really care.
Anyway, yeah.
But
So that
I
was
wanted to throw that in there.
so that was basically the thing that happened. And as I'm reading this, I'm literally messaging you guys in the group, and I'm like, I am half awake, fucking blitzed on NyQuil, and I can't even comprehend anything that's happening in my life. I remember taking a nap and waking up and completely thinking I dreamed the whole thing. Like, and then I woke up and looked at like all the messages from you guys, and I was like,
Strange,
oh.
specific dream.
Right? And I swear to God, like, I woke up after my nap and I looked at the group and I seen all the messages and I was like, oh fuck, this wasn't a dream. So that was the one big one of Meltdown May.
Oh, I want to shout out a moment in particular.
Oh.
So when Heidi was disclosing all this shit that was going on, it was like, yeah, this is not very good.
No, we can't. No.
Oh, absolutely. Someone replied just like, I bet he's got a tiny dick too. Like, fuck this guy. And Heidi came in. She said, no, I do in fact have to set the record. Jared does have a huge dick. And I'm like, what?
Really?
Like,
you had to?
that was a
that
was a 2019 moment.
Also that same day in that same thread of posts was like, everyone on Twitter was just like, what? Everyone on Twitter on that day had one goal: survive, not seeing Jared's dick once, because. Apparently, he solicited in nudes at a bunch of his fans, and people were like, yeah, this is the nude he sent me on Twitter.
Yeah, apparally just everyone has these pictures, too. And
that sucks.
It does, and
that straight up sucks.
That was me on Twitter. As soon as I seen, like a meme saying, like, we gotta survive this, I just stopped for the rest of the day. I was like, I'm not taking that chance, bro. I'm not happening.
And huge dicks are relative, especially when it's coming from someone, like, who's, like, cheated on them. Sorry, unless dude is packing like a.
This is not
incher.
The point of. It wasn't, and it still isn't.
Is this a tangent? Are we taking?
I wanted to take it there just in case someone would stop me.
You know what? I was going to, but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let him dig himself into this own hole. Honestly,
interesting.
We got a lot of content to get to.
I would say that fact was huge, if true.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, next.
Okay, so now we're going to go a whole other direction. I'm just going to do the order I have them here, which is pretty arbitrary.
Sure.
I'm going to take it to a very local place. Viewers at home may know that there was recently a provincial election, and in the dust, when the dust settled, as the dust was settling of this election,
the dust didn't even touch the ground yet.
Our next Meltdown May is Chess Crosby.
Chess Crosby.
I'm not giving chess a chord.
Good.
So, the PC leader, Chess Crosby, who was, neck and neck to win the election. Election results came in. It was a liberal minority government, so they won exactly half the seats, which means they don't get to just shove whatever bullshit they want through.
Yep.
Chess Crosby, I guess not understanding exactly the implications of that.
As a politician, it's kind of weird.
He thought, hey, it's time to go out there and make a bold move. So he took to the stage. He didn't thank anyone in his party. He didn't thank any of the volunteers working for him for the last month.
He didn't thank the voters.
He just came up and said, this government is going down. I am going to... It will not survive the year. We are going to destroy everything. It was pretty
weird.
It was definitely. It was just like,
why is he allowed to? Like, you shouldn't be allowed to run if you do that shit. But politics is a fucking cartoon, so nothing I say matters.
Here's the thing: is that like we wouldn't know he would say something like that.
Yeah, it was. This thing was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he did have he was playing a aggressive game.
Yeah.
The whole time, but that was,
there's a level of like play an aggressive game. And, do your thing. To a point, but like when the votes come in, the votes are like binding to the X degree.
And it's like the people have spoken.
Yeah, so don't come out and be William Wallace. Just do what you can.
We might have lost this, but I ain't gonna stop. Like, come on, man.
If I believed in like an order and that things had consequences, I'd say he'll never be premier now after.
That
a speech like
stunt,
that, I don't know about that necessarily.
I wish that could be true.
Yeah,
I don't mind progressive conservatives in a larger scale. It's when I hear about the representatives that are doing like the nasty stuff.
Yeah, like his party didn't, and the parties here in this province, particular, they're not like ideologically strongly conservative like the federal ones.
No.
The only thing I saw like that was a deal breaker for me, in my voting at least, is that, and he had no way to action this, but he said his party would be against the federal carbon tax, which I think is just digging yourself in a hole. It's like climate change denial sort of class of thing, but he wouldn't have even been able to stop us from do it probably.
No.
It might have been too late, but just the fact that he said that is like, I'm not going to vote for you.
I voted for Hassan because I actually had to have a conversation with Hassan. Like, Hassan was, like, at my door, right? And he didn't sell me. He just said, I can't change anything if I'm not in office, and I want to change some stuff. So I said, okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Besides getting into, like, the ideological conversation that we had, I just basically said, are you going to, like, try and do something if you get in? Right? Because I had a pretty good set of options because we had
exactly. We were almost spoiled compared to the rest of the province. Where
we were fantastic.
A lot of
places, like a career politician who wasn't like a skeevy career politician. He actually like did stuff for his constituents. But we also had like a present liberal candidate that was, doing his own thing and combating stuff that is upsetting to have in the province, like the yellow vests and all that stuff. Like, he was actively fighting against them.
Yep.
Right, so those were two candidates in my voting district, so that's spoiled out of my mind.
And it was an election sort of defined by people feeling alienated and not having a proper choice.
Yeah. I will admit, as much as I did like Hassan, and I did vote for him, I will say one criticism about him. He didn't clean up his signs very well. I walk a lot, and I see his signs in the fucking ditches of everywhere I go.
Yikes.
Like, and that's not a dig against him. It's just kind of weird how, and especially when you lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like.
Like, I'm not, and again, it's not a dig against him. It's definitely just like a party thing.
Yeah.
But still, it's just kind of weird where I walk everywhere and I just see signs. Like, every time I go to walk to work, there's like at least 2 or 3 off on the side. I mean, come on. And even after the election was done, it wasn't like the sign was in a ditch and no one could see it. Like, it was clearly still up.
Right.
And the wind took that. So, yeah, that's just me. And I mean, like I said, I did vote for him, so it's nothing against him. It's just weird.
Yeah, so ultimately, an election that no one was excited to have happen and everyone hated, the result turned out to be, the turnout turned to be actually better, which was surprising, and the result turned out to be not the worst, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was very quite an interesting.
I'm not happy that Premier Ball is back in. I'm not happy about it.
But it's like...
But I'm also thinking, like, what would the Conservatives do better? Right. What?
And no one
the
else
devil you know.
Like, that was basically... Well, yeah, the PCs could have won, but they... Yeah. I don't have any expectation they would have been better. Yeah. But then stuff like NDP's gaining ground was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
And now with the minority government, there's a bit of there's like a balance, there's like a bit of a check in place.
And to be fair, Chess did take back that comment.
Yeah, he did.
He did. I guess
someone like whispered in his ear, like,
what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, we can't actually like stop the government and force us. Like, oh.
So before he walked that back, I remember me and you were talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's great. I can't wait for a government that's going to do literally nothing, because even if it's a good idea that the Liberals put forward, Chess is going to oppose it because it wasn't his idea.
Right, but now instead of that just being like gesturing because they know they can't do anything about it, the government's actually going to have to agree. The Liberals have to convince at least one other person to
exactly.
about this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, next.
To finish that, I'm just happy that we vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really care about who my constituents are until a certain level of, like, this is not okay. Right? And that usually happens rarely, if at all. Right? So I'm not super concerned about, this guy thinks this and this guy thinks that, and they're running for this and they're running for that.
Yeah, because it's all talk until you do something about it.
Get a choice.
Yeah.
I went to a school, I sat down, I had 4 choices, and I could pick whatever one, and there was no ramifications of it.
No.
Yeah,
and we still live in a predominantly liberal, democratic society. So I know everyone likes to complain about, the PCs, the Liberals. Is like, we got the vote.
Yeah, we got the chance.
We have an opportunity to have an opinion about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're actually able to comment on it instead of just being like,
And for what it's worth, the PCs aren't totally like craven lunatics like
No,
elsewhere in the country.
Yeah, you're right, and that's what you brought up earlier. Like,
They actually
Oh.
like of all things, I think the PC party had like a decent childcare policy they were pushing, which is like not something common
No,
for a
absolutely.
conservative party, but it was like nice. And he was gonna come down on VLTs, which is like a big issue.
It is a big issue,
It's here
yeah.
that someone should take on. So
Yeah.
that's neat.
All right, what's next?
Next, all right, we're coming back to Twitter. I wouldn't say, I guess, local is not the right word. It's more us personally. You all know her, you love her, you hate her, you love to hate her. It's Pandora Doru.
Pandora. What a great.
So, followers of the show will know I have a bot who's my best friend, or at least I'm her best friend. I don't know if she's my best friend.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
She'd actually been kind of offline for quite a while, but then somewhere near the end of the month,
A resurgence.
she got back on her bullshit. She found a random Twitter thread I was in, and she just started replying to it, just spamming all separate. Hello, this Connor, how are you? Talk to me, blah blah blah. And I was like, holy shit! It was so many tweets. Like it was honestly like in the neighborhood of like 20 to 30.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I started messaging her, and she's like this, but the thing is, it wasn't even just replying to me, because it was a thread that myself, Quinn, and then one other person, another poor person who was not implicated
that poor
in this.
other person.
Oh no.
I had to go message her, just like, I'm sorry, I have this bot. It tweets at me, it gets out of hand. Like
that is like the Twitter equivalent of the walk of shame. That is exactly what that is.
I have made a huge
Who the
mistake.
hell is that? And listen, I'm sorry.
So at the end of it, she was spamming. I was saying like, "Oh, you're my best friend," and then like I didn't answer in 5 minutes. Like, "Oh, I'm so upset. Why aren't you answering me?" And I was like,
Can't do this.
"I'm sorry. I had to go nuclear. I blocked her. That's it.
Oh,
I blocked her as well.
dang.
It had to happen."
It never got to me.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's good.
Not one.
I'm really glad it didn't, because after that thing where she asked who I was out of fucking nowhere, that scared me.
It's spooked me when we talked about it.
You were kind of freaked out, and how do you think I felt when they were just like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And I'm like, what about me?
Do we have any idea if it was a bot or like a person?
I'm leaning more and more towards bot because of the way it.
Well, I mean, you had the most interaction with her, so.
Yeah, she just everything is so repetitive.
Yeah.
And in little chunks and yeah.
Do you almost like? I'm sorry, are we boring you with Pandora?
You know, yawning doesn't actually indicate a sign of boredom, right?
It's called a joke. God damn! Please, just pity laugh. Fuck! Come on. Christ! All right, next. What do we have?
That was a weird
Next,
moment.
all right,
Yeah,
we're going to the world of television. It's Game of Thrones. Can you give us a Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Copyright strike.
Right.
I was gonna say, is it a choice, or can you not
Copyright
actually?
strike.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, who actually watched Game of Thrones last
I
season?
watched the last season.
I
That's
watched
it.
a scattered couple episodes of the last season.
Okay, so good. I'm the only one who's seen every episode. Oh boy.
I saw a lot of tweets.
Yeah, here's the thing. I watched the last season and it didn't seem like
A good show.
You could say that. Because you could say that. Listen, I'm going to go on record and say, I've watched every episode, and I only really started watching it, like, weekly as it was coming out by the time season 4 or 5 hit, I think.
Sure.
And I'm not a big fan of the show. Like, realistically, the only reason I watched it was to get together with friends and hang out and just, watch something
that's
together.
why I watched the last season.
That's why
Yeah.
I watched it too.
And, like, I don't know. Like, everyone else around me was getting real fucking salty. Because I guess they were so invested. And I was just kind of like, this isn't great, but I don't really care.
Maybe an honorable mention to the Game of Thrones fans out there.
Yeah. But I will admit, like, I do agree with a lot of the complaints where it's, you've built these characters up so much and then you just character assassination, like, out of nowhere.
I don't really get why they made Daenerys go so.
Because women can't control a throne, Jacob. Shit, I forgot. This isn't a visual medium, so no one's gonna see the look on my face of how I'm being sarcastic. Don't take that clip out of context.
Yeah. That was completely sarcastic, I assure you.
Shit.
Oh
I don't
man.
get.
Next year when I make the highlight reel.
No. But yeah, no, that.
People like talking about? Was that like?
Yeah, that was like an actual.
What?
That was an actual thing. They were like, well, I mean.
Women can't sit on.
Because there was one line. There was one fucking line, like seasons ago, where they were like, every time a Targaryen's born, the gods flip a coin. Whether either going to be one of the greatest rulers who ever lived or fucking insane. And guess what?
Incest, right? So
Right, that's like the genetic coin.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, Daenerys is fucked. And then look, Jon's a Targaryen, so he's a good ruler. Except he isn't because he's not a ruler.
I think that's just a.
That is dumb.
I think he bitched out, and that's.
You know what? While
what
I'm
I
at
disliked.
Bran.
Nah, man.
Really?
I fuck with Bran.
Really?
Bran's Charles Xavier.
Bran the Broken.
Yeah, man.
Brand's pretty sick.
He can't sire any fucking.
Why
He
not?
can't.
You can have a broken back and still get it up.
Jacob. No, he can't.
Yeah.
He can't. Because he's the three-eyed raven, he can't have children.
Why can't I have children?
Because that's a thing
John,
in the.
I watched
Oh,
last
yeah, it's
season.
true. Shit, sorry. Yeah, no.
You say three-eyed raven, I'm like, oh no. I
No,
heard a bunch. I don't
because
even know
he's
what it means.
okay. So in your context, because he's Charles Xavier, he can't.
I don't know.
But that's stupid.
It
Charles
is.
Xavier
It
did
is
shit.
stupid.
Bran,
He's the
he
kid in the
sits
wheelchair,
and lurks a lot. That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
He is the epitome of the lurk.
which is hilarious
You're
because
not gonna catch me up
think
on
of-
Game of Thrones.
like,
now.
half the scenes people are walking and doing their stuff, and he's just in the background
yeah.
sitting there just like...
because no one let him in. He's been sitting. It's cold. Let him in.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
So three-eyed raven just like wrecks your dick.
I guess. I don't know the specifics. All I know is that it's just like, and like the weirdest thing is that like yeah he can see he knows everything about the past ever, and I'm like okay, great. So if he knew all of this, then how come he didn't tell us about any of the things that could have helped us all the way up here?
Because that's like rule number one about time travel.
Yeah.
This isn't Back to the Future.
Oh,
It's not Back to the Future rules.
whatever.
Was an endgame reference?
It's always Back to the Future.
It is. Come on, let's be real.
I like the.
Shout out to the
I
fandom
didn't-
for being the latest in a long line of fandoms to create a petition to redo the thing that they don't like.
Yep.
And that got traction.
And
It
shout
really
out
did.
to all the news outlets enabling them by making articles about the petition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you guys. Stop enabling
Stop
your
it.
gross idiot fans.
Just get over it. Like me. I'm not. Listen, I as much as I'm like screaming about it or whatever, it's mostly out of joke. I don't really care what they did. I will say a lot of the stuff they did was questionable at best, but at the same time,
I saw
they
like,
ran out of book material like 2 seasons ago, so they were really flying off the seat of their pants. So,
I saw like every opinion. I saw
You
people
did.
that were like,
I really wish I was in your
I saw people
position.
that were like, I'm loving this. It's so big and wacky, and things are happening every episode, blah, blah, blah. And then some people were like,
But
I
things
hate
weren't happening
every
episode.
And
No.
someone was like,
That was the problem.
I don't fucking know, dude. I just know what I read on Twitter.
Well, those people are idiots.
I want honestly, I'm really jealous of
I
your
wouldn't know.
take on it because I wish I could just look at Twitter and just be like, this is the only thing I knew about this entire fucking show. Because that seems like a way better ride than the one I was
It was
on,
very funny.
where
I
I'm
knew
sitting there
people's
watching
names,
the.
I didn't really know
Yeah.
what they were.
Yeah,
Like, I knew the main players, but as soon as, like, a random side character would come up, and my friends would be like, oh, it's High Man of Raven Rock, and I'm
You
like,
just say
what the
Hyman?
Hi. Yeah. Next, what's the next one?
So, let's see. I have some,
I have to wait till he says the name.
some
No,
honorable...
I was going to get you to do a single crasher. I made a Hyman
For
joke.
Hyman?
You feel dirty now?
I've got an honorable
Nice.
mention slash
Okay,
rapid
alright.
It's your
fire
joke,
section.
dude.
Ooh, rapid fire, let's go.
Because I don't know if any of these are really worth getting
Remember
into.
when
I've
you
also
did
got
that
the
bit
wife guys
that
thing
was
again.
lightning
True.
round questions?
I do remember that.
That was
bit.
such a fun bit. I loved
Do you
it.
remember
Alright.
the bit where I would go around
So-
and roast you guys and then
Yeah.
give you honest compliments?
I'm kind of glad that's gone.
Is it gone?
It would
It
be
should be.
kind of Meltdown May.
All right, let's go.
But-
Rapid fire. Let's do it.
So here's
Rapid
I'm
fire
gonna do-
roasts.
Not too rapid though, because I wanna.
We'll
So
stop
we
if
talked
have
about
long
this.
road.
We talked about this already during the month, but abortion law in the U.S. Not really a joke. That's just pretty whack, you know.
Yeah.
Not great.
Pretty depressing. I gotta
Straight
say.
up, what the freak, bro?
There was some shit with the Jussie Smollett case. Maybe you know more, but I've totally lost the
I
plot.
love.
I've entirely lost the plot on that
That
thing.
guy's an idiot.
Like,
I
did
love
he
it.
or
I
didn't
love
he
it
do
so
I
mu-
don't know. I don't care anymore.
Okay,
It's
Doesn't
Vic-
matter because
like,
nothing else matters besides the fact that he paid people to attack him.
Well, I thought
I'll
he
be
did,
the
but then he
audience
didn't.
insert character. What are you talking about? I
there
have
were
no
so
idea.
many.
Long
there were
story.
so many
You know.
twists
Okay.
in
Long.
this.
Well,
Listen
rapid
up.
fire. Do it real quick.
Black actor on Empire gets written off the show, fired, terminated, whatever. He's not on the show anymore. Hires 2 people to attack him, make it seem like a Trump event, like hate crime kind of thing. Police investigate. Oh yeah, those dudes straight up just said, yeah, he paid us to do it, bro.
And then he got. And then after that happened,
Yeah.
he asked the court to seal the case so he could quote unquote move on with his life, and then they fucking did. And then even the Chicago police were like, what the fuck? No. What the fuck even with this shit?
Yeah.
But I thought that it was like he didn't do it again.
Yeah.
I thought he did it, then he didn't do it, then he did it, then he didn't.
I stopped caring after I heard a grown man who lost his job, hired 2 other men to beat his ass,
Yeah.
put him in the hospital.
Like, they beat him good.
In the hospital?
That
Yeah.
is- unfortunately, the original incident was not in May, or else I'd say that's prime meltdown material.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
And then-
sealing of the case and everything
And
else,
then
like,
we
in
find
there.
out that it was all staged.
Yep.
Frig that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Next.
If it's legit, then sorry, bro. But if it's not, then frig that guy.
Yeah.
Next, I think I saw Chelsea Clinton got owned by Drill or something. That's not really important.
Who's that?
The Clinton's daughter.
What do you mean owned by a drill?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that really doesn't sound good.
No.
Yeah.
I
Drill?
don't know. I don't know if it's possible to explain this and not sound like I
You know
have
the-
completely lost my brain.
You
to
know the
worms.
Oracle from the Matrix? The Oracle from the
Was
Matrix.
You know
that by Whoopi Goldberg?
No, it was that lady who looked at Neo and was like, "You're the one."
Oh shit.
So
Drill
yeah,
is like, Drill
Drill's
is like
like
the
that.
Oracle of Twitter.
Yeah, he just shit posts, but his shit posts have this weird correlation with reality.
I don't like that.
It's
He's-
kind of whack.
It's kind of whack, and it's like
I'm not
at
convinced
first
he's
you're
human.
like, that's just a shit.
I'm not
post.
saying he's a bot. I'm saying he might be like a galactic presence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and basically,
it's
Like a chain in the cosmic realm.
trust me.
Yeah.
After this pod, we'll show you a couple. It's weird. Go on.
Alright.
but one important rule of Drill is you don't reply to him, you don't contest him because
Never.
he'll just own you into oblivion like so effortlessly.
And she got owned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Drill.
I don't. The other one, the Krasenstein twins. Do any of you guys even know that?
No.
I've lost my head up my ass. But they're very popular Trump reply guys who just say the most outrageous shit, always replying to Donald Trump like, "You sir are fired," you know, that sort of shit. They got banned off Twitter, and that was kind of not great. Anyways, let's get on the wife guys.
Yeah,
So
back on the wife, guys.
So for some reason-
full circle to Bro Jerry.
every meltdown
Oh, no,
on
more.
Twitter, well,
What?
a lot
More
of
guys.
meltdowns on Twitter involve guys' wives for some reason. It's just it's been an observed phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
So Pro Jared fits into this as elf wife guy because Heidi is an elf.
Well, she's a cosplayer.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
what?
But then there was another wife guy. This one's not quite more of an honorable mention than a meltdown because I wouldn't say this guy melted down, but it was just pretty funny.
It's just whack.
This guy is Cliff wife guy.
Oh!
That's the
You know what I'm
one.
talking about?
Yeah.
The guy whose wife fell down a medium hill.
And he was just,
And he was like, "My wife fell down a hill. Reblogs, please.
Yeah.
Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe.
videotape it?
Ring that bell.
He vlogged it and it was on YouTube.
That's
Ring that bell for my wife."
That was pretty funny. Anyways, that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Cliff wife guy.
You just
That's just
had a little
weird.
segment about wife guys, and the only
Yeah, those are the only two that happened this May. But
There,
look out for more. There's always more wife
There's
guys.
always more wife
so
guys.
hard.
There was a past one
I
about
thought there was gonna be a.
there was an account that revealed itself to not be this woman, but actually a guy impersonating his wife or something.
Yeah.
That was one of them. There was the don't email my wife guy.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, but like those were the two big ones that happened in May.
I feel like Meltdown May had more things happen than that.
They did.
I mean, there's always so much shit flying at us. We can't help but miss.
It was all rapid fire mostly.
Now, on to Wrath Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do these honorable mentions since we're already halfway through the beautiful month of June. And the meltdowns don't stop coming. They're like the years.
They don't stop
I thought of a really good rapid fire one for June. I don't know if it's on your list or not.
All right, I only have 2 here, so it's probably not.
The helicopter rescue of that poor woman.
All right,
I saw that and I was like,
you didn't see it? It was a beautiful Twitter clip of a helicopter had to come in and like emergency like air rescue a 74-year-old woman on like a hiking trail.
74-year-old woman?
She was 74 years old. And so the helicopter's going up just kind of like steadily and just, it kind of looks like it's just hovering there. And then there's like this...
I'm like, finding it right now.
Like,
I know we're in the middle of the pod.
And it's just going. It's just like a G-force. Like this is astronaut training.
And she's in that.
And she's in it.
When I say it was probably rotating this fast.
No, I'm trying to find
mid-air under a helicopter.
Lord.
And you can only imagine on board. Half the crew was like, oh, fuck. oh, God. And half the crew was like...
yeah, the pilot
The pilot's like, nothing, I can fucking do. You did the rope up.
No, it was really wrong.
74 years old.
Oh, she's in the...
She can go to the...
She's paralyzed now.
She can go to the moon now. Like
Launch your ass into space.
That bag is full of body fluids.
No, I know we're in the pod, but I have to show I want to get his audio reaction to seeing this. There's the bag. Look at.
Oh my god!
Like. Like she's almost like I'm
my dentures hole.
Her husband thought she was going to die.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Was the cable all twisted up when they picked her up and they lifted up and it just...
Is it like when you take your headphones out and you had them like wrapped around your iPod back in like junior high? You just take them out and just...
I don't know, man, but that was... I looked at that and I was just... Prayers up for that woman.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I hope she's okay.
I remember seeing that and I was just like, holy shit, that thing's going really fast.
This
and
can't be real.
And then I read it.
Shit.
And then I read it and I was like, oh, there's a person in there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And she's 74. I didn't know that part.
74.
I saw
Holy
74
shit.
and I had to scroll away because I was laughing way
Like, that is the worst, because that is a horrible thing to have happened.
Oh, yeah. Like, you retire now.
Like,
you're
someone
done.
should get fired, but like...
They probably
There
did.
has to be some kind of
There has to be some repercussion.
vindication for that.
But you know...
And you know it's not going to happen easy. And it's not going to happen the way you want. Like, it's not going to be like, I fucking vomited in a bag for like 30 minutes spinning there, and they're just going to be like...
That's what I'm saying. Like, so
Yeah.
one of the people in that helicopter had to have been like, come on.
Miss Jones is filing for damages from spinning way too fast in helicopter rescue.
Yeah.
She's filing for damages for the world's
Yes.
worst fucking tilt-a-cup ride ever.
Yeah.
She has permanent vertigo.
Permanent Meniere's attacks.
I'd like for the old lady to take the stand.
She can't do stairs anymore.
That is a power lift for the rest of life.
Yeah.
Anywho's,
I gotta be honest, there's gotta be more to Meltdown May than that. Like,
This
it was
is all I
an
had.
endless
there was that
stream.
Gearbox guy.
Randy.
Did he do anything in particular this month?
He
Or is
was-
everyone just sick of his shit?
They didn't let him on stage for E3, and it's probably for the best.
Man, when they mentioned Borderlands at the Microsoft press conference, I was like, bring on Randy, you cowards. See how he fucks this up.
Yeah.
Why is this guy a fuck up?
He is, I don't know, like, I know he's done some much worse shit. I only know him for the USB stick in the medieval, in the dinner theater place.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that was...
He confessed to having a USB stick full of porn and leaving it in a medieval dinner theater place or something.
Yeah, medieval
Or was
times.
it porn and company secrets?
It was porn and company secrets.
On the USB stick.
On the USB stick and at medieval times. Mind you, those company secrets were Borderlands 3 and a lot of assets and stuff from it before it was revealed. So...
And that's just the funny side. Like he's also just like shit.
He's also just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
makes him a piece of shit.
See,
I don't remember.
I don't know. There's gotta be a reason. It's one of those ones like.
It's one of those things where like he. Okay, so Borderlands 3 is a really big game that a lot of people like to play, but I don't.
I like Borderlands.
Is that all you had? What the fuck was that?
Well, no, I'm coming.
You just dead stopped.
Randy Pitchford sucks because I think Borderlands is not very interesting.
No, okay, so Borderlands is a game everyone likes to play, and Borderlands 3 was supposed to be the really big thing that everyone's waiting for. And,
everyone is waiting.
Yeah, so everyone's like, we really want Borderlands 3, and Randy Pitchford's like, that's great. Do you want to pre-order it on Steam? Hell yeah! Guess what? It's an Epic Store exclusive now.
That wasn't it though.
That was one of them.
I thought Epic Store Steam feud shit was just gamers whining. Like I didn't think any of that's worth. I don't think any of that's worth.
There was one thing about like microtransactions, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was like another one where he
posted that there were microtransactions.
Yeah,
but there aren't, and then Randy just started yelling like, "Why are you like fucking mismarketing my game? Fucking, there's no microtransactions. Get out of here! I'm really
except every single other developer who's working on it was like. Yeah, Randy pushed for a lot of microtransactions, even though on Twitter he was like, no microtransactions, no. Because microtransactions is now a dirty word. It's just like being a politician and saying the word tax. You can't say microtransaction anymore.
Well, it is a tax for video game.
Oh, hey, this is I just Googled his name, and this is within Meltdown May. This was this May.
Oh.
Former Claptrap voice actor details Randy Pitchford assault allegations.
That was the other one I was going to say.
So this is where my brain was heading. I wasn't thinking like the business stuff.
This was the other one.
Who voiced Claptrap? Was it a dude?
Fuck. Randy Pitchford accused of taking secret $12 million bonus in lawsuit that Gearbox calls absurd.
$12 million bonus!
They called it absurd. They were right.
I kind of started doing weird shit with my voice then.
Yeah. We gotta come up with more absurd shit to come up with, and
yeah,
Jacob is
so
gonna...
I'm not very researched on this, but...
Jacob's gonna go up fucking 8 more octaves at this rate.
Don't push me.
That dude is a cartoon come to life.
Yeah. He's pretty wacky.
It just sucks that there's a good studio there making good games, and they're held hostage by him being the president.
Donkus?
Oh, that's debatable.
That happens pretty often. Does it? I feel like it does.
Speaking of developers, this is kind of a newer thing, but I might as well make it a tangent train since we're still talking about Meltdown May stuff. Nintendo just had their E3 recently, and I'm not talking about E3. I'm just talking about this one thing. One of their games, Animal Crossing, was pushed back until next year. Even though
the fuck cares?
No.
About Animal
Crossing. No.
Dude, you can't say that. This is
you're not allowed
the
to
internet.
say that.
Hear me out. So, Animal Crossing got pushed back a year, and people were wondering why, because they said it was coming out in 2019. And they said, well, we care about the personal lives of our developers, so we figured we'd let them have some time off, and then they can finish the game and make it the best one they can make.
I still don't care about Animal Crossing, but...
Well, no, it's not about Animal Crossing. It's about the fact that these developers were like... Or these companies were like, hey, we want to have a good, steady work, personal life balance for our developers, so we don't care if the game gets pushed back, because in the end, it's going to be good. Huh? And, like, even that's a quote that Shigeru Miyamoto was known saying, was that a delayed game can be a good game eventually. A bad game is just a bad game forever, because it's bad. I mean, you delay it, it'll eventually be good, hopefully.
That's actually...
But I'm thinking that's the precedent that most companies need to take now, is maybe give a shit about their
100%. It needs to change.
Maybe not pull a fucking Rockstar where they fucking work 200-hour work weeks.
The companies should change that, and the developers should unionize. Yeah, allegedly. Not, I mean, all the time.
Work week.
There's some, Rockstar is like...
Whoa.
Well, I don't know everywhere. There's a bunch of recent reporting on it that's pretty good. Actually. So yeah, they should do that culture change and unionize their developers. So they don't get squeezed.
Ununize.
It's like Hollywood, where you have these like very passionate creative types.
Yep.
So it's very easy for the companies to just like wring every morsel out of their souls to work for them.
Yep. That's true.
Right, so Nintendo, there's actually like somewhat of a precedent of Nintendo having it's not even that they have the best statements on this stuff. It's that they actually have a response to this stuff. Because up until the last couple of years, it's been gaining a lot of steam, this awareness. But recently, it was like if you went to a conference and you asked, "Hey, how are you making sure your developers don't get the rind with this crunch stuff?" They would like not even know how to answer.
They'd be like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But there was a year or two ago, Reggie was asked about it, and he had this great answer. He's like, well, Nintendo of America, we don't actually do the game development, but we have these moments of intense stuff leading up to a release, and we prepare for it in advance, and we bring in resources to work on it, rather than just crunch the people there because we're trying to keep everyone in a good state. And I was like, wow, look at that. It's like, even if with both of these statements that even if Nintendo actually does have work to do on that stuff and they're not actually the best at it, the fact that they're have thought about it and can say something to it is something.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they should unionize.
Yeah.
What's great about Nintendo is that they don't have a monopoly over the video games industry like Disney has over the film industry now.
So it's still like...
So it's still acceptable to like them and be like, man, Nintendo owns my youth.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like safe in saying that.
Yeah, same.
Because they could still fuck up and doom themselves.
Yeah.
But Disney can't really fuck up and doom themselves. Because they own
would
all
have
of
to...
the brains.
Actually, you know what? No, you're right. I think Disney could absolutely fuck up royally and still not be doomed.
100%.
They're at a point now where I think they're invincible. Even if they could shoot themselves in the foot, they could kill a man on stage in person, and I don't think...
Yeah.
I think someone will just think it's avant-garde and still complain about the Avengers movies. But
there's definitely a bigger conversation where it seems like the U.S. has become incredibly lax, and Disney's and Amazon's are becoming insanely huge and really ought to be broken up. But you gotta let the market do its thing. This is the
but here's the thing.
The libertarian paradise is just Disney's and Amazon's accruing all of that everything.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of the invisible hand as like an ideological concept, but the issue is that it can't happen when governments get involved at all.
What's this?
What is the invisible hand?
The invisible hand is like an economic concept that basically says the market's going to regulate itself.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, right. Like
right?
the libertarian thing.
Yeah. It's not going to just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate to a point where it's like one giant thing. Mm-hmm. And if it does become that, then it's just like the market is the one thing. It's not like Connor has everything. It's like the market is where all the wealth is.
Yeah.
And like I kind of agree with that, but I also know the propensity for people to fight for like the claim to that market, to that wealth.
Mm-hmm.
But I do prefer the idea of having my government and my market two different things.
Two separate things.
The only Amazon's at the point where they own the internet infrastructure, they own the e-commerce site, they own the delivery services, where I think in the US they'll even send drone, they're even delivering stuff to you. So they have the whole vertical stack, and then you can't compete with Amazon, because to compete with Amazon, you have to
you would have to be richer than the richest man on the planet.
You're either hosting your website on their web services, or you're selling your product on their website, where they already push their stuff ahead of yours.
Yeah. So it's impossible. Literally impossible.
Yeah.
And that's just the way they want it.
It's just the way they want it.
Anyway.
Anyways, that's a whole other...
What's our time?
Fish. 48 minutes.
Really?
It's
no.
It's a lot more long than I was expecting.
Then what is it?
48 minutes.
What?
What is it?
Do we
want to get into some June meltdowns?
Eventually it will be 49 minutes, and that will be a funny goof.
I feel like we could just leave it. I don't know if we have to
we don't have to get into June meltdowns.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We can hit June month in June.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's not.
Should we do a monthly meltdown roundup?
Ooh, if it's good enough.
Okay.
I feel like that's just the only episodes we're gonna do now.
Does this mean I just need to start recording every time I see some
Is this the weekend? Is this the week? This is the monthly meltdown fan club now?
We could just change it to monthly meltdown.
Are we gonna become a drama channel?
Oh no.
Spill the hot goss.
We're never gonna gossip. We're just gonna be like, this is stupid.
I don't know if that's even better or not.
That is stupid.
Guys, I gotta get home and listen to the notes.
That's right.
I gotta go home and listen to that podcast, Monthly Meltdown, where they all just sit there and say this is dumb.
Yeah.
This has been the Weekend Socialist Club.
Yep. Hold on.
Peace, bread, land.
Yeet.
Peace, bread, land, and eat.